Hey CY, what's up? How are you guys doing today? So excited to connect with you and to get back into our word. We're talking about how God will establish a testimony in us and how we can be a testimony. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but when I was growing up, my mom would stand up in the middle of the service and give a testimony about what God did for her that week. But sometimes I would wonder, how am I supposed to be a testimony? Or do I even have one? What does that even mean? So I was starting reading in the scripture on how we can become a testimony. We've been working the last couple of weeks on how we can be a tree and how we can be established and be all these different things. And I really want us to work on how we can become a testimony. So in the book of Psalms, it talks about how God establishes Jacob as a testimony. And I want to just replace Jacob's name with our name. So for me, God establishes Sadie's to be a testimony. And so that way the entire earth and all of the generations after me will know who he was during my life, during the time that I lived. And that's the same for you. So just repeat after me and say your name. God has established to be a testimony, right? So as you continue to confess that in your life, you'll be able to live that out in your life. There's a few points that I want to mention to you on how we're to be a testimony of God's love, of his actions, of his thoughts, of his decisions, and how that looks. So when you're hanging out with your friends, you're at home with your family, different little things, and you're doing things, you're out at school, how are you establishing the testimony of God's love in their life? How are you showing that? What are you doing to be that testimony? Are you talking about it? Are you doing it in action? Are you posting it? Think about it. Be a testimony this week and show God's love. Love you guys.